From Studio B, this is WGALA Brainbusters. Now, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Hello to all our viewers out there. It's a pleasure to welcome you to another riveting episode of WGALA Brainbusters. Now, if you've been with us before, you know that we have had the pleasure to meet some exceptionally bright, respectful, and spirited young individuals who are committed to the pursuit of knowledge. Today, we welcome two new teams to the Brainbusters family, Redland and Lower Dauphin. Who will seize the day and advance to round two? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's play our game. Now, here comes today's opening round. We have 10-point questions and a little easier this time to get us started. So pick up those signaling buttons and use them frequently, beginning with this question. According to Chinese legend, it was discovered in 2737 BCE by the Emperor Shen Nung as an antidote for poisons. What beverage had he discovered, Owen?
Mercury.
No, sorry, that's incorrect. Redland. Oh, he discovered tea. The four major blood types are AB, and O. What is the most common blood type in the United States, Zach?
O.
O is correct for 10 points, gets Redland on the board. First explored in 1673, its Indian name is Pequiatanoi, means Great Muddy River. What river empties into the Mississippi? Zach again.
Missouri River.
The Missouri, also known as the Big Muddy. Good for you. It begins, "Where's Papa going with that axe?" said Fern to her mother as they were setting the table for breakfast. Olivia.
Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web is the E.B. White's children classic. Bob McGrath died in 2023. He was a founding cast member of this show when it premiered in 1969. In what world did he play friendly neighbor Bob Johnson for almost 5 decades? Zach?
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. Good for you for another 10 points. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. What scientific term includes both of these principles, Owen?
Inertia.
Inertia. Good for you. And that gets Lower Dauphin on the board for 10 points. The first battle in this war was fought in the Ya Drang Valley, November 14th, 1965. The U.S. won the battle but lost the war. Drew?
The Vietnam War.
The Vietnam War is correct. When Romeo says that Juliet is the sun, he's using a metaphor. When Robert Burns tells us that his love is like a red, red rose, what figure of speech is he using, Olivia?
A simile?
It is a simile, correct. In 1791, he collapsed and died shortly after a performance of the Magic Flute. Who was this 36... Drew?
Mozart.
Mozart was this 36-year-old composer. Darwin's The Origin of Species, published in 1859, actually has a much longer title. On the Origin of Species by means of... What two words complete it? Owen.
Survival.
Sorry, I think that is incorrect.
Natural
Zach.
selection.
Natural selection. Good for you for coming in with the correct answer. It's about the size of Alaska and Texas combined, but its total population is about the size of Greenville, South Carolina. What is this island in the Arctic Ocean covered in ice? Olivia?
Greenland?
Greenland is covered with ice more than 2 miles thick. The legend was that this Queen of England had 6 fingers. Who was the second wife of Henry VIII and the mother of Elizabeth I?
Anne Boleyn.
Anne
Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn is correct for another 10 points. Good for you. While vacationing in Switzerland in the summer of 1816, Shelley, Byron, and their friends had a contest to see who could write the best ghost story. Mary Shelley claimed that her story came to her in a dream.
Frankenstein. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is the famous novel that her dream did become. Good for you. In music, double time, common time, and 4/4 describe the rhythm of songs made popular by John Philip Sousa. What's the more popular name for double time,
March.
Zach?
Cut time.
What is it?
Cut time.
No, sorry, incorrect. Lower Dauphin? We stumped you on March time. Sousa's known for marches. George Washington's presidency was marred by the Whiskey Rebellion, whose 8 years as president were marred by the Whiskey Ring scandal. Zach?
Grant.
Ulysses S. Grant. It took place from 1871 to 1876. The Wasteland has been called the most influential poem of the 20th century. What poet wrote it in 1922? Oh, we stumped you on the great T.S. Eliot. Weft, woof, and warp our curious words, but they're all terms. Oh, we were going with weaving, and that sound takes us to the end of the round. But hold on to your seats. The excitement is just getting started. We're going to gear up for the one-on-one rapid fire and team lightning round, so stay tuned as WGAL8 Brainbusters continues following this.
WGAL8 Brainbusters will return after this. The final 4 teams in the WGAL8 Brainbusters tournament will win cash grants. The 3rd and 4th place teams will receive $1,000 each. The 2nd place team will receive $3,000. And the WGAL8 Brainbusters champions will receive $5,000 in grant money. Now, here's Rich with our coaches and alternates.
Well, we're having a great time here, and we hope you are as well. You know, we have a lot more questions to reveal, but before we do so, let me take an opportunity to introduce you to Mr. Jason Jones, very important individual that coaches for our teams. Mr. Jones teaches biology at Redland High School. So I've known you for many years. You've been a coach for many years, but I understand that your household has gone through a big change.
Yep, my last kid went off to college, so 2 are out of the house, and a lot more time on our hands, a lot less money on our hands, but it's a different energy in the house. So.
And it's a big thing to watch everything you've worked on, and now I hope it inspires you to, as you do anyways, to inspire your students at school and knows what it takes to get into school today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing such a great team. And let's meet today's alternate from Redland High School. It's LJ Bertalik, and he is a junior. Great to have you here. Now, you were part of an organization called Future Leaders of York. It sounds important. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's a really cool program where once a month, me and students from other schools all over York County meet and learn about different leadership types and how to better our leadership skills. We're only halfway through, but recently we've done different community service projects and just learned how to better our leadership skills.
It's fantastic, and learning about civility and empathy and how to treat people well. Thanks for being here, LJ. Now let's go over to Lower Dauphin, and we're going to say hello to another coach that's been here for many years, Mr. Doug Grove. Thanks you for being here. Let's English, public speaking, and of course I know that you're dealing with the performing arts and you handle the theater organization over there. So here's a question for somebody like you. If you were trapped on a desert island, what kind of books might you bring?
Oh, I think I'd probably go to the books I really loved when I was in high school and college, like Lord of the Rings. Haven't read those in a long time, and I'd love to reread the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. Douglas Adams is hilarious and just really witty and great, and haven't read them in a long time. So I figure if I'm on a desert island,
a young man on the show the other day brought up Confederacy of Dunces, and that brought a lot of memories. There's another book I could read. Well, thank you for coming here and bringing today's alternate, Alex Elliker. Great to have you here. This is your first time on the show, and you have an interesting and unique hobby.
Yeah, I really like the study of the vexillology, the study of flags and the history and symbols and meanings behind them. I have a flag collection. They're really fun to learn about.
All right, so this is a new word for me, vexillology.
Vexillology, the study of flags.
And it reminds me of that television show Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting your team. All right. Well, we have a lot more work ahead of us. Let's get to it right now with today's one-on-one rapid fire round. This is where we pit our individual players against each other head to head. But first, we get to chat with them a bit and find out what's going on into their busy lives. So first, we'll say hello to Zach Schussler. Redland High School. You are a freshman and you did a superior job in that first round of play. I hope we can keep it going. You collect something that I never would have thought would be an opportunity to collect.
Yes, I collect clarinets, which I play clarinet in band, and it's the best instrument. Oh. And currently I have 5 clarinets, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's more than what the average human has.
Well, yes, and do people, I mean, do they sound different? Do each of the clarinets?
Yeah, so certain clarinets have different ranges. Some have different tones to them.
Oh, interesting. Well, thanks for sharing. Let's meet Tavian Boone, a junior, first time here from Lower Dauphin, and it's great to welcome you here. And we all look up to people. I mean, certainly where there's influencers in the media, you look up to certain people, but you have a particular role model that's really a powerful one to share.
Yeah, it might sound a little bit cliche, but I'd really have to say that my role model would be my dad. Growing up, it's just a lot of things that he had to deal with and a lot of just bad luck, I'd say, but throughout it all, he's really stuck through it and I really just admire his perseverance and everything he's done, because he's really come a long way just to like bring our family up, and he's sort of like the backbone of that. So.
And here's a testament to his efforts. Tavian Boone right in front of us. Tavian and Zach, let's put you two one-on-one. Cape Fear, Cape Lookout, and Cape Hatteras are in this U.S. state. Which state is it? Oh, we stumped you on North Carolina. Her 1813 novel begins, "It is a true universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a fortune must be in want of a wife." Who wrote this story about the emotional development? Zach.
Jane Austen.
Jane Austen wrote about the emotional development of Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice. And finally, Chester A. Arthur became president when James Garfield was assassinated. Who became president when John F. Kennedy was assassinated? Zach again.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
You got it in time. Good for you to really help your team enormously. 140-20. Now let's meet our two captains. First, it's a pleasure to welcome back to Brainbusters Drew Scheib. He's a junior at Redland High School. And last year, I guess you were on the show, and I don't know if you made necessarily a mistake or you failed to mention something, and you were mentioned by your world history teacher?
Yes, so I came into class one day and I found out that my Brainbusters game was on the screen, and he showed the clip of our interviews, and then he stopped it to ask why I did not mention him and how much of a missed opportunity that was. So now he's my economics teacher this year, and I wanted to mention him. He makes class very entertaining, and he's very helpful towards learning social studies.
Well, let's give a shout out to his name.
Mr. Kerstetter.
Mr. Kerstetter. All right, go Mr. Kerstetter. Owen Giampetro is a junior and the captain from Lower Dauphin, and it's great to have you here. And I understand you enjoy playing the alto sax?
Yes.
How long have you been playing it for?
I've been playing it since 4th grade, so quite a while now.
Oh,
and I don't have quite as many saxophones as Zach has clarinets, but I do enjoy the instrument. I play in my school's jazz band and marching band.
Oh, so they really depend on you.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely integral.
Owen and Drew, let's put you two one-on-one. Ranks and titles can be important in college. What is the name of the head of a college division and has a list you want to be on? Drew.
A dean.
Dean, you are correct for another 10 points. His colorful Favril glass for windows, vases, and lampshades is worth a small fortune today. The luxury jewelry and design house is headquarters on 5th Avenue in New York City that bears his name. What was this turn-of-the-century artisan and glassmaker? Drew.
Tiffany.
Tiffany, good for you. And finally, New York City, New York is in the Eastern time zone. Fargo, North Dakota, and Bowling Green, Kentucky are both in what time zone? Drew again.
Central time zone.
Central time zone. You dominated those 3 questions. Good for you. A strong lead, 160-20. Now let's meet our third players in today's competition. First, a welcome to Olivia Magera. I know you were here last season, and it's great to welcome you back. And we know your mother is a teacher, so we can say your favorite teacher in the world is your mother. But there's actually a teacher that really stands out, that really impacted you.
Yes, I just wanted to shout out Mrs. Stanball at Red Mill Elementary School. She was my 3rd and 4th grade teacher, and she kind of encouraged me to do my elementary school and middle school's academic bowl, and she kind of sparked my love for all of this. And so because of her, I did 5 years of academic bowl, and I'm on my 3rd year of Brainbusters.
Fantastic. Who knows, we may see you on a national show one day. Thanks for being here. Christian Grow is a junior at Lower Dauphin, and it's great to have you here. And I'm always impressed when we set goals. We always set goals, but a young man having a goal, and you have an immediate goal, and I'd love to hear what that is.
Yeah, I run track, and the mile is my favorite event, and I'd like to this season run sub 4:20 in the mile. That's a huge goal. It would be huge to me, and catching Vic Royce is another one of my goals.
Okay, it went over my head on that, but I believe you, and I know that you're going to work for it and be tenacious and get your goal. But right now, I have a goal to read 3 questions for Olivia and Christian. Good luck as we put you two one-on-one. Anwar Sadat and Israelis Menachem Begin shared the 1978 Nobel Peace Prize. From what country was Anwar Sadat? Olivia.
Egypt.
He was from Egypt. Good for you. Because plant growth depends on minerals, plants can thrive in a mineral-rich liquid rather than dirt. What is that form of horticulture? Oh, we stumped you on hydroponics. And finally, the Quakers are members of the Religious Society of Friends. What university team is known as the Quakers? Olivia.
The University of Pennsylvania.
Good for you. Yes. Wow, look at those scores, 180 to 20. Lower Dauphin, you have your work cut out for it, but you can do it now as we pick up the pace and play today's 60-second team lightning round. So, Owen, you have the pleasure of selecting among one of these three quizzes. Gee whiz. Excellent answers. America the Bountiful.
We'll go with America the Bountiful.
The nicknames of many U.S. states celebrate our abundant flora and fauna. For 10 points each, identify the states with these bountiful biological names. Owen, I take your answers, the team's answer. Tavian and Christian are ready to help you along. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. So good luck to all three of you, and here we go. The Peach State, although its principal crop is peanuts.
Georgia.
Georgia is correct. The Bluegrass State, eaten by the famous thoroughbred horses.
Tennessee.
Kentucky. The Beaver State, building dams on the Columbia River, perhaps.
Ohio.
Oregon. The Magnolia State, home of Yazoo City, Natchez, and Biloxi.
Skip.
Mississippi. The Sunflower State, where Dorothy and Toto lived.
Oh, Kansas.
Correct. The Buckeye State. Its Buckeyes play for the State University in Columbus.
Oh, Ohio.
Ohio. Yes, the Gopher State, although no one knows why.
Washington.
Minnesota. The Garden State, home to Princeton and Rutgers.
New Jersey.
Correct. The Cornhusker State, capital Lincoln.
Nebraska. Nebraska.
Correct. The Pelican State, they live along the Gulf Coast.
Louisiana.
Correct. The Badger State is for settlers were miners who lived underground.
West Virginia.
Wisconsin, the Evergreen State, home to Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens.
Washington.
Washington, yes, the Pine Tree State. It borders New Hampshire and New Brunswick.
Vermont.
Maine, the Wolverine State, named for one of the Great Lakes. Michigan. Oh, I know that's really tough, and people don't understand the pressure that you're under. But you got 6 correct, so 60 points came your way. Is this a break for you, Drew? We'll find out momentarily. We have Gee Whiz and excellent answers to select from.
Excellent answers.
Excellent answers. We hope this won't be too excruciating. These exquisite questions require some excellent answers that begin with EX. Of course, each correct answer is worth exactly 10 points. Drew, I take your answers, the team's answers. Zach and Olivia are ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. Good luck, and here we go. In the movie E.T., it's what E.T. stands for.
Extraterrestrial.
Correct. Lewis and Clark, Vasco da Gama, and Christopher
Expedition.
Columbus.
Expedition.
Explorers, to dig up, usually an old body.
Excavation.
Exhume, the passenger pigeon, the dodo, the dinosaurs, they're all...
Extinct.
They are someone with great knowledge or skill in a particular field.
Expert.
They're expert, yes. These taxes are added to the cost of gasoline, cigarettes, liquor.
Export.
Excise taxes. What the E in CEO stands for.
Executive.
It is executive. Someone who's outgoing, gregarious, likes to
Extrovert.
be around people. Extrovert, yes. Precise, undeviating, strictly accurate.
Pass.
Exact. For a scientist, this is a controlled way to test a hypothesis.
Experiment.
Experiment, yes. In mathematics, it indicates how often a number is to be multiplied by
Exponent.
itself. Exponent, yes. The study of extraterrestrial life on Mars, for example.
Pass.
Exobiology. This rule prevents illegally obtained evidence from being used in a trial.
Pass.
Exclusionary rule. The transportation of a suspect from one jurisdiction to another is extradition. We had 7 correct, so 70 points came your way. Still a strong lead for Redland, but we still have way more game coming up, including right now, because it's time to unveil today's bonus Brainbuster category. During our break, our teams will wager 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of children's books. So we'll have the bonus Brainbuster and, of course, the all-important Final Frenzy when WGAL8 Brainbusters continues following this.
Watch all this season's episodes of WGAL8 Brainbusters anytime on WGAL.com. Our online home also includes our tournament schedule and a chance to learn more about the show and host Rich Rosen. Go to WGAL.com and click on Brainbusters.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome back to Studio B. Now, if you look at the scores right now, Redland does have a very strong lead. Lower Dauphin had a very slow start, but we still have a lot more game left, including right now today's bonus Brainbuster. During our break, our teams wagered 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of children's books. So we're going to head into the News 8 newsroom with Susan Shapiro. She has today's question. Susan, welcome to Brainbusters.
Thanks, Rich. And now here's your bonus brain buster. This illustrator of children's books is considered the originator of children's picture books. An annual award for Best Picture Book is named for him. Who was he? Again, this illustrator of children's books is considered the originator of children's picture books. An annual award for Best Picture Book is named for him. Who was he? Good luck with your answer. Now back to Studio B. Rich?
Thank you, Susan. Good luck, teams. We'll give you about 5 seconds. Oh, wait, they're still consulting with each other. We certainly want to be fair. Okay, Drew wrote his. He closed his pen. Owen's still deciding. Librarians are watching this, and they're like, we talked about this in elementary school all the way through. Let's see. All right, let's wait till he finishes and he closes his pen. All righty. All right, Drew, it's up to you to show on your side of the set first, please. And you wrote Dr. Seuss. No, I'm sorry, but you a good wager of only 10 points, so we're going to deduct 10 points from your score. Owen, took a while to write it down. Did you write down the right answer? Silverstein. No, I'm sorry. It's called the Caldecott winner. And these books have a gold sticker on their cover. Okay, 240 to 70. All right, guys, it's still anybody's game. It really is. I know you're ready for the big turnaround, and you can do it, Lower Often, beginning now with the final frenzy. This time we have 20-point questions. Pick up those signaling buttons, and let's use them frequently, beginning now. Its name literally means little brain. It regulates coordination, balance, and posture. What is this area, Christian?
Cerebral.
You are correct for 10 points. In the 17th century, Descartes devised a way of associating points on a plane with pairs of real numbers, and therefore of associating algebraic equations with geometric curves. What field of mathematics did he thus create? Zach?
Geometry.
Nope, sorry, incorrect. Cannot accept it. Any idea, Lower Dauphin? Christian?
Trigonometry.
No, it's analytic geometry or coordinate geometry. They've been known to carry typhus fever and trench fever, but they're usually just a nuisance. Kids are still sent home from school if they have them. What are these small, flat...
Lice.
Zach?
Lice.
Lice is correct. They're wingless, tough-skinned, sucking, annoying insects. You are correct. From 1853 to 1856, it was the site of a war between Turkey, England, France, and Russia. What is this, Drew?
Crimea.
Crimea is the Ukrainian peninsula. It is the only country that has changed continents. From 1821 to 1903, it was part of Colombia in South America. In 1903, it declared... Zach?
Panama.
Panama is correct. It declared its independence and became part of Central America and North America. Good for you. A triangle with sides 50, 14, and 48 is inscribed in a semicircle. What is the degree measure of the inscribed angle? We stumped you on 90 degrees. If an angle is inscribed in a semicircle, it's a right angle. President Harding dedicated the building in sculpture on Memorial Day 1922. The building was created by Henry Bacon, the statue by Daniel Chester French.
The Statue of Liberty.
No, sorry, incorrect. What is this Washington, D.C. landmark dedicated to our 16th president? Drew.
The Lincoln Memorial.
Lincoln Memorial is correct. Aeschylus wrote Agamemnon. Euripides wrote Alcestis. Who wrote Ajax and Antigone? We stumped you on Sophocles. These two colors are the translation of the title of Stendhal's most famous novel, La Rouge et le Noir. What colors are they? Zach?
Red and black.
The Red and the Black is the novel, yes. He visited the South only once on an excursion to New Orleans, but he's generally thought of as the greatest Southern songwriter for such songs. Zach?
Francis Scott Key.
No, sorry, for my old Kentucky home in Swanee River, and we were going with Stephen Foster. Well, that sound takes us to the end of the round and to the end of the game. It looks like we are going to see Redland return for round two, but we hope that you will return with us in just a few short moments for some final words.
Scorekeeping for WGAL8 Brainbusters, presented by Jennings College Consulting, where students discover the right college fit for the future. We'll return after this. Welcome back to WGAL8 Brainbusters, the Susquehanna Valley's longest-running high school quiz show. Once again, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, hi, everyone, and thanks for staying with us. Boy, we have to acknowledge an excellent performance by Redland. They really took hold of their reins, and they did not let go. So they are going to return. We say goodbye to Lower Dauphin, but we know we're going to see you next season. Thank you so much for participating. We hope you had as much fun as we did watching you play. We hope you enjoyed the excitement as much as we did here. We have another exciting match coming up on WGAL8 Brainbusters where we meet more new teams. We'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks you guys so much.